everyone. Welcome to Clear Brain Energy Concept. So in that video, free energy creation secret. If you've been following our channel, you observe that we have been trying to dig out all the secrets that can help us to create the needed freedom we all desire. And we've realized from what we are doing that there is no need hiding anything. Whatever we have to contribute to our energy freedom is something we must do collectively. It's no longer a fight or a battle of supremacy, but it's something we must do together and achieve it together as a race and not as individual. So in today's video, we've come a long way, and we must commend all your contributions and your sacrifice of time and attention. So today we want to look at the linear version of our free energy concept. This system is like a closed system. We have a closed loop where you have a permanent magnet inside it. Then you have an induction coil, two induction coils. Then the permanent magnet is free to move in this direction. So when you look at it, this is just a prototype version. This is a reed switch. Here is the electromagnet, another electromagnet. We have here a solid state relay, if you mind using a solid state relay. Then this is the triggering battery and the charging battery. Let's want to paint a clear picture of what it takes to clear or harness free energy from this electromagnetic system. Now you will realize that it takes an attractive force to generate electricity or to induce electricity in this coil, this electromagnet, and takes a repulsive force to get this spinning. That means the force that will draw the magnet to the coils is free, because the permanent magnet will always be attracted to the metal inside your electromagnet when you use a metal core. But it will not take another force to repel this magnet in order to keep this thing spinning as a motor. So when we talk about pulse motor generator, we are looking at a combined system that will have an attribute of a motor and a generator. And you realize that since it will take an attractive force to induce electricity into this magnet, into this coil, and will require a repulsive force, that means the attractive force is always free, because normally your magnet will always be attracted to a metal, and once that pulling or attractive force is there, an induced EMF is created. That means you achieve energy generation. Then when you now want to get this system in motion, it means you have to send another part of the energy you have induced into you've created. You have to send a repulsive force. That means you have to transform this electromagnet into a magnet of the same pole in order to get this in motion. And you realize that you must input a fraction of energy But one thing we must understand is that since there is something we know as back EMF, which is almost 95% to 98% of the energy input is produced as a back EMF. Now, it now implies that the energy required to repel this magnet from this electromagnet is just a fraction of what we are talking about when we understand this concept. That means the energy to repel this, you are in turn a kind of getting it back through your back EMF, which is this. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, what now happens to the energy that is induced in this coil during the attracting process? That means actually when we look at this system and analyze it critically, we can understand that obviously when we design this pulse motor in an efficient way, it is no longer something we have to doubt that we can actually harness more energy from the environment that we are required or that we are inputting into the system. Then the question is, how do we get this energy and how do we harness it? One secret we'll find out is that the method of designing this electromagnetic system is very, very important. Now, come to think of it, most times you see pulse motor designs with a coil pattern that is very lengthy. Thereby, when the coil is lengthy, it will always produce a longer flux line, which will in turn weaken the strength of the flux that will either repel the magnet or attract the magnet. Now, in this, you can see it how flat this coiling method is. That means the flux part will be very, very short and strong enough to repel or to produce a very powerful electromagnetic flux line. Then another thing you have to look out here is that instead of using a single coil in this winding, we are making use of a double coil winding. So one coil will serve as the triggering unit, which will supply the repulsive force whenever it is required. Then this will serve as the alternator side, that's at the generator's coil, which whenever energy is induced due to the reaction of the magnet, the interaction of the magnet with the ion in the electromagnet, it will induce energy in this thicker coil, making the generator aspect of this functional. And secondly, since there is always the presence of back EMF whenever a coil is induced, that means the back EMF is also harnessed through this coil. Now, the conventional method of designing this electromagnetic pulse motor system using a single starter coil has been a great challenge and has proven to be inefficient because of kind of what I call, there is more of a collision force between the DC current and the AC current being generated simultaneously within the coil. And you know, whenever there is friction, there will be loss of energy. So while we design this is to make it more efficient so that the DC energy flowing will have its own path without being affected by the AC aspect of what we are talking. And we are using a cold DC system, cold DC current, using coil 1 and getting back EMF from the second coil, making it a frictionless system and thereby generating more power from your system. Now, when you understand this concept, you know that there is no other person holding you from enjoying free energy than the mindset we've been having all this while. When you have a mindset of possibility, you see it happen. When you have a mindset of it's not gonna work, you see there is always going to be a challenge and things that will hinder you from seeing the real picture whenever it is there for you. So, I want you to take a look at this diagram. Study. We are going to develop this. Look at this then in a more in-depth way and make sure that we generate or design a pulse motor generator system that will give us our dream of free energy. Meanwhile, battery, retrieving battery is the charging battery, and from this we only take fraction of charge from this battery, the battery bank A, and pour more power to the charging battery more than we are able to take from the system. How is that possible? Remember, the attractive force is free. Whenever the magnet is approaching the stator, it is always free, and you generate energy from that process. And when the coil is induced to repel the permanent magnet, you create a back EMF, and that back EMF returns charge to this charging battery, making it a system that will generate over 100% energy creation. And considering the axial flux concept of pulse motor design, it means the energy we are harnessing from the south pole of this system comes off. Also, we can always generate energy from the south and the north. So when we are looking at this picture, it doesn't only show you that you can harness energy from this south, but also from the north pole simultaneously using the same induced EMF. I want you to keep faith, keep believing. We are JF Green Energy Concept. Our goal is to make sure that we guarantee you freedom that your heart desire, and our desire is to make sure that there is energy freedom for all. If you have been living in Nigeria for a while and in this part of the world, you will attest to the point and the fact that we are suffering a lot because of this energy poverty. Imagine the removal of fuel subsidy will cause massive hardship in the life of the citizens just because a fraction of government support has been removed from the fuel price. Everything has gone haywire and people are running away. People are hopeless. People, they are stateless. They don't know what to do. The economy is crumbling, and we have always seen it as our own responsibility and our own contribution to humanity to bring about a new dawn in this energy fight. Keep believing as we come back stronger and better for a more clearer and more focused green energy concept. Like and subscribe to our channel because we believe in freedom and we guarantee you freedom. Thank you.